Hi guys. Thanks for watching in advance. Um, my name is Angel. I'm a CEO of a small business, and in this video, I'm going to tell the anecdote and testimony as to why I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Um, and I'm also going to talk about how I'm no longer in the New Age. So, first, my childhood was a Catholic upbringing. Um, I had a concept of Jesus Christ, and I had a concept of Jesus Christ, but I didn't know him namely growing up. And then I was a little bit older. When I was a little bit older, I had discovered the New Age through light working, and I wanted to become a healer for people. I wanted to heal people of anything they're going through, and so that's what really drew me into the New Age concept. So I started researching more of what the New Age had to offer, and that led me to discovering the concept of twin flames. Um, so I was already believing in love and stuff like that, and I was really like boy crazy. I really wanted to be in a long-term relationship, and I'm sorry about that. Um, and so when I discovered this concept of the twin flames, it was like clear right away that this is what I wanted in my life, or it was clear to me that I was going to research it, and it was clearly interesting for me. Um, so this is when the story gets a little bit complicated, and I'm gonna do my best to apprise. Um, I I was given a revelation, I guess you can say, um, before really diving into the New Age concept or the twin flames. I and like kind of in the midst, just like in the horizon, that was about to happen. But um, I was out one night with a friend who also was kind of diving into the New Age concept, and we were like business partners and friends and stuff like that. I was like 16 years old, and um, yeah, that's what my life already looked like. And I don't come from like suburbia and or beyond that. Like I'm pretty. My life has been really difficult, and really I've had so many struggles. Um, but so I was out one night with her, and we were at this gathering at a house, and I'd never been to this house before. So it was an event or like a party, and um, I ran into somebody that I remembered briefly, kind of from another house party. I remember being to his house, and he was like, he was like this guy who lived in this house with a bunch of other very young people, like high school and just out of high school. So they all lived in a house together, and they always threw parties. And I had been to one of their said parties. And so he remembered me and was like, "Don't you know so and so?" I was like, "Yeah, I do know, like, this other person that he was really close with. Um, I'm sorry, this is like glitching. I don't know if it's. So I'm at this party and I meet this guy, and he's very interested in me. And I come later to realize more of who he is later on in life. He's very attractive to me, and I'm like boy crazy. I'm like, I want a long-term relationship, and this guy like looked like somebody I would want to pursue a relationship with because they just seemed nice to me. And um so that I am already thinking like, because I'm so young and I'm so naive, like that's where my mind goes. So I walk away and just kind of join the party again, and I'm kind of just standing alone, and he comes up to me and he tells me like, and mind you, I wasn't on anything. I wasn't I was, I have had addictions with marijuana, but at this point in this very moment I was not under the influence. So, side note aside, he comes up to me and he grabs my hand and he tells me that I'm beautiful. And I'm like, this is really great. He thinks that I'm beautiful. But when he does that and he grabs my hand, something that I was not expecting to happen at all happens. When this happens, there's something in the spirit that goes on. So I'm at this party and I'm getting the most kind of rocked I think you can really get to. I mean, more than just rocked in the spirit. So he's at this moment with the guy and me interacting, just touching and stuff, and it's like, so I'm here, pretend like I'm touching this guy, and it's like that's when I'm taken out into this other experience. I don't know why that is what it is, but like I don't know why it was in that moment of touching, And so then it becomes not even about that interaction. It's like I'm not even there. I'm there, but it's like there's something else going on in the spirit. And I've never had a spiritual experience like that. But if you've had an spiritual experience before in your life, that's kind of what it's like. It's like you're there, but you become aware of the other things in the world, and you become aware of your spirit, and it's all about God. It's all about Jesus Christ. And if it's about anything else, then it's not good. I'm like, what is, I'm literally like, what? And when I try and say that, it's like my breath in my voice, it was gone. Like I was like, and I'm like, this is true, it's all real. He's real. And I'm like, so I'm trying to kind of like compose myself and breathe. I'm like touching this guy. Jesus is revealing himself to me. Like I'm like just frozen in this moment, and it almost seemed like it was like 3 seconds long, but it was probably more close to more than that, like a little bit more than that. But it almost just felt like, you know, over. Um, and if it had been any longer, I honestly don't know, like, what would happen to me. Like, if this body could even withstand my spirit getting rocked like that, or, like, my spirit feeling that. And, like, I had never felt my spirit before. I've never felt anything else besides this body. And because that was happening, and God's love was pouring over me, that was like, because it was like my spirit and God's love that I was feeling, it was like I never wanted to sin again in that moment. Like, I was like, I never ever want to deceive you ever in my life. Like, it was like when you think about the story, I'm not sure which book, I'm not sure which verse, but and I will get better at that, but I mean, there was all the 12 elders, 24 elders, something like that, worshiping and stuff. It kind of felt like that. Um, it felt like my spirit was doing that. Like, just like, you are love. You are, like, I didn't want to think about anything else. I didn't want to do anything else in that moment. I didn't want to focus my awareness on anything else but God and His love, because it was that good. It was that pure. And, um, hmm, um, my body didn't feel determined anymore. Like, it didn't feel like, so my body wasn't determined anymore. I was just free of everything. I was free of every thought, every worry, every care in the world. It was just all focused on God. There wasn't like other thoughts. Um, Not even what's happening in this material world of touching this guy, was I even focused on that. So like my body was like this. Pretend the guy's in front of me, and my body was just like this. But me, what I wasn't there, I wasn't focused on this. I couldn't focus on this. The way that God feels for us, I was able to feel what it feels like when He loves us. There was no more barrier to feeling that. So that's what made me. That was why I was so healed in that moment. because there was no more wall, there was no more veil to his love getting to me, because he lifted that for just a moment, and it was undescribable love that my body was not capable of being, underneath. So it almost did feel like my breath was being taken away little by little every moment that it was happening. So that's why I'm like, if it happened for longer than it did, I don't know what would have happened, because it was amazing and it was beautiful, but it felt like I was dying, just for a moment. And it was so hot. It was so hot for my body. Like, my body was like, it was too much. I didn't feel pain, and it wasn't bad, but it was just like, the temperature of it was just like extremely hot. Like almost like being electrified and having like felt lightning or something, of just heat and melting, almost a melting sensation, for my body, but in my spirit it was like really, really amazing and really good. And it was like better than any sensation in this world, better than any kind of high or anything like that. So it wasn't like, it's not a feeling that I can ever get to, in the body or anything. It was all spirit. But very overwhelming, beyond overwhelming for my literal flesh that I was still in. I was not having an outer body experience. I was not taken out of my body witnessing anything. But like, I was not doing anything in this world either, if that makes any sense. So I want to wrap this up soon. That turned into, I took that experience and I ran with it into the New Age, and I began trying to heal others and heal myself, and it only turned into my life turning pretty much upside down, and it was very dangerous for me to be doing that. There were so many tragic events and just unfortunate things happening in life, when I didn't follow the right path, and just nothing seemed to be going right, and I know better now. So I want to continuously try and work on myself, work on following the right path, obviously, and I want to do a lot of things with this channel, so just know that I'm so proud of everyone with faith and everything you can give to him and his word. So thank you.